What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. Let's start this video with Nick Walker's physique update about 5 weeks out of this year's New York Pro. So this whole vacuum discussion in regards to Nick Walker started with that picture, when Nick Walker was supposedly trying to vacuum after getting therapy, or maybe he wasn't doing a vacuum at all. Nevertheless, this became a very engaging topic of discussion among all the bodybuilding fans, among all the bodybuilding pages. So Nick Walker's coach Matt Jensen posting this update of Nick with crunch abs. That pretty much solidifies where these guys stand in terms of that vacuum debate. Because right now there are two sides. People who think that vacuum should be part of open bodybuilding, and the other side who thinks more separated and deep and chiseled abs. That is more important and that looks much better. Personally, I think there is absolutely no harm in hitting that vacuum when it comes to the men's open bodybuilding class. Our reigning Mr. Olympia champion Derek Lunsford hits a very good vacuum, but his criticism comes after that observation that he doesn't show abs either in the front double biceps or the abs and thigh pose as well. But here is the flip side. If you look at the Persian Wolf Hadi Choopan, the reigning Arnold Classic champion, I have to say if you are implementing a vacuum, that is the perfect way of doing that. He has everything. He has a super vacuum. Plus, he has one of the best set of abs as well. And you should be really confident to show those deep separated abs and then transition into the vacuum or the other way around. Even the judges really appreciated what Hadi Choopan did at this past Arnold Classic stage. In fact, people were so happy to see Hadi's waist looking so freaking small, especially standing next to a guy like Samson Dawda, who has a much better shape and structure than Hadi Choopan. Now, coming back to the mutant Nick Walker, who has one of the most amazing set of abs, really deep, really separated and chiseled. And really, there is no debate on that. He has one of the best set of abs in the men's open bodybuilding. And it would be cool to see him try both these crunch down variations of the front double, as well as standing upright and pulling in his gut. And this isn't something new. If you guys remember, Nick Walker also did that at the Olympia 2022 and at the Arnold Classic 2023 as well. So Nick wasn't doing exactly a vacuum back then, but the transition was pretty awesome to see. So the New York Pro is just weeks away from now, and this is the show Nick Walker aims to absolutely dominate. He's looking really big and thick and in a very good body composition as well. And we know he will try to peak 100% for this show. And we already know he has never been off in terms of conditioning. And I'm sure the same will be the case here as well. Detroit Pro is just a few days away now, and we were all wondering why a guy like Tonio Burton wouldn't just jump in and get that 25 grand, plus the Olympia qualification as well. Which is more important at this point, because the next show that Tonio Burton is planning to do, which was originally gonna be his first show, that is gonna be the New York Pro. And with Nick Walker in there, the chances of him getting his Olympia qualification at that show, they are near zero. So eventually he's gonna have to do some other show as well. He needs to have a backup plan. So the package that we saw from Tonio Burton at the Arnold Classic South America, that I have to say is gonna be so competitive in that Detroit Pro lineup if he actually shows up. And finally we got his version as well. I think the fans should be educated on the rules of the IFBB, especially the deadline on which one can apply for a show. And once you sign a contract, you will face the consequences if you pull out of that show. So this comment of Tonio Burton under Muscle Discord page, that perfectly sums up this scenario on why Tonio Burton isn't doing Detroit Pro. Or even if it wasn't originally on his plan, why wouldn't he just jump into the show at the very last minute? The thing is, even I wasn't aware of this rule. There is so much to talk about Tonio's interview that just went up on the YouTube of Muscle Discord. I have never seen Tonio Burton open up like that before. And if you are a fan of bodybuilding, which I'm sure all of you guys are, then you guys should definitely watch this one. I'll put the link in the first comment. Let's talk about Martin-Fitzwater, who is actually the favorite in many people's eyes to win Detroit Pro. So some new pictures came out in which Martin looks absolutely insane. That structure right there is no joke. The quads look huge, coupled that with a vacuum. That is really impressive. So people does have a very valid concern on the condition Martin is showcasing at a few days out of the show. So I have to say these aren't exactly some recent updates. He is working with Stefan Kenzel, who is also the coach of Nathan D'Asha, Wesley Weezer's Urs Klasinski, and he is also the current coach of William Barnack. Plus, this is the comeback show for Martin, and that too after a gap of about 1.5 years or so. So his body will be 100% fresh. So there is a very high probability that we are gonna see the best Martin to date at this year's Detroit Pro. So people also have this opinion about Stefan, that he did not bring Nathan D'Asha at his best. Well, this can be said about the post-Olympia shows, specifically Romania and Prague. But the physique that Nathan brought at that European tour, specifically Flex Pro Italy and Europa Pro Spain, that was the best look of his entire career. So I am definitely looking forward to watching Martin-Fitzwater on the stage. And this has been a really long prep for him, because originally his plan was to do the Arnold Classic Ohio. But for some reason his application for the Arnold Classic Ohio wasn't accepted, and he did not apply for the Arnold UK. So he had to stay in prep longer than expected. He had to diet for almost 6 more weeks than he originally planned. So this definitely has been a very long prep. And talking about Nathan Asha, he has been pushing really hard in the gym. He has been training hard and heavy. And for those of you guys who do not know, Nathan Asha is already in prep for 2024 season. And we just saw his recent update just a couple of days ago, in which he was looking really impressive. That was the starting point of his prep. And he was able to hold on to a very decent conditioning while getting bigger while growing. So the last show that Nathan Asha did was Prague Pro. And the results at both those shows in the post-Olympia tour, those weren't ideal for Nathan. But he is fired up, hungrier than ever, to get back on the bodybuilding stage. And just like 2023, I am sure we're gonna see him compete multiple times this year as well. Because if you guys remember, he said that his aim is to win 20 pro shows before he officially hangs up the posing trunks. So we are absolutely gonna see him do multiple shows this year. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna do Dubai Pro as well. Another guy who is competing at Detroit Pro is Justin Rodriguez. And he did not place as per his own expectations in any of the shows that he did. And not just at this year's Arnold, in the last 2 years or so. So with Good Vito and Martin in this lineup, Justin Rodriguez will be the odd man out. He doesn't have a pretty or what we call an static structure. He cannot pull a vacuum like the other two guys. But that being said, he does have one advantage over these guys. He has the size and he has the width and he has the mass. And the great thing about Justin's prep with this current coach is that he actually looks leaner than this year's Arnold Classic Ohio prep. And I have to say for Justin, it is all about the peak. Can he duplicate that Arnold Classic 2022 or the Boston Pro 2022 look? That is obviously not an easy task. And it really doesn't matter who is coaching him, because ever since he started working with AJ Sims, no other coach has been able to bring him in that kind of conditioning. And he has done so many shows after Boston Pro 2022. And he has worked with so many coaches since then, like George Farah, like Abdullah. But none of those guys were able to peak him perfectly the way AJ Sims did. So Detroit Pro doesn't have the deepest lineup. But the top 3 is going to be really exciting. And let's just hope that all 3 of these guys bring their best and give the fans a great show. And also, we are going to see Samson Dauda, Ian Valier, and a bunch of other guys there as well. So all in all, I think Detroit Pro is going to be a good show. And the kind of lighting, the kind of stage that these guys are bringing back, I think all of us should support this show. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you want to come back for more. Thanks for watching.